Yeah. Let's start. Like, is JavaScript single-threaded?
Sorry, sir. Can you please repeat?
Is JavaScript single-threaded?
JavaScript, no, sir. JavaScript not single-threaded. It is a multi-thread language, and it is by default is asynchronous in nature. So, uh, so like whenever we execute the program, so like if anything is like taking time, it will not like block the execution at that time. It will keep on executing the other things. So by default, like the JavaScript is not single thread. It is a multi-thread and asynchronous language.
So JavaScript is multi-thread, you're telling?
Sorry, sir. The
So
voice
is
is not very
so you are
clear.
telling is JavaScript is multi-threaded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But as long as I know, JavaScript is single-threaded.
So by threading, I mean like I understand that whenever the execution is happening, so the JavaScript do not block the execution if the any part of the program is taking time. So it by default is asynchronous in nature. So okay, maybe it is a single thread, but to improve the performance, it is asynchronous in nature by to like perform the like to increase the performance maybe.
Okay.
It may be like single thread.
Okay. So what is difference between REST and spread operator?
What is the first operator?
What
Rest.
is difference between REST and spread operator?
So the spread operator is so if you have any object, so by using the operator, you can mention that you can mention that the previous state of that object. So that is the use of the spread operator, and I am not aware of that operator.
Okay.
Is Is it the rest you said it? REST rest?
Yeah.
No, I am not aware of that. The operator.
Okay. Okay. So can you tell me what is temporal dead zone in JavaScript?
Temporal dead zone.
Yeah.
Uh, Sorry, sir, I am not deal with these terms, the dead zone till now.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me what are the advantages of arrow function?
So arrow fun- the advantage of the arrow function are uh, you can write them in a very short space, like in a very like short. It will not take much space. So when you have to just write the very code on maybe on click you want to implement a function, so you can just write the arrow function in that in a single line code only. So it makes the code very clean. So that's the benefits of the arrow function. Also, when you have to write a asynchronous function, so you have you have to you can also helps to the arrow function helps you. So whenever there is something which return the promise, so you can use the arrow function and make that asynchronous, and then you can call the await keyword, use the await keyword to get hold of that promise, and then you want the execution. So in that case, also the arrow function are very useful.
Okay. So can you implement compose using polyfill? Compose polyfill?
Sorry, sir. Pardon.
Can you
Compose.
do you know compose function?
Compose functions
Yeah.
like the normal functions.
Yeah.
Sir, I can implement the functions on JavaScript.
Okay. How can you implement
So, normally, we implement the function, like we write the keyword function and then name the function. First we write the function keyword, then the name of the function, and then to that two circular
so
bracket,
okay.
and then in the curly bracket, whatever we want to execute, we can write that. We can specify that, and so that is the that's how we write that normal function in JavaScript, and then we can also convert it to the arrow function later.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you implement memorization?
Memoization.
Yeah.
Memoization, like it is a concept of dynamic programming. Is like, what do you mean?
How can you implement memorization?
Memoization, yeah, I can implement like by storing the previous result. So that's how I like. There's a concept which I know. There's a concept of memoization in the competitive programming. So in that, like we hold the previous result of an execution and then use in that current result. So we can we can do memoization using a data structure or something.
Okay. So what is event delegation?
Event delegation. Event delegation, by I understand, like so when like if anything maybe like take the event as a click on the computer. So we can so whenever we specify, whenever this click by this button happen, so this kind of event is happen should happen. Then we can get hold of that the event key, event time, that how much duration the event happen. So then we can execute what we want to execute. So that I understand is the event delegation.
Okay. Can you tell me like advantage of closure?
Closer.
Yeah.
No, sir, I'm not aware of this closer.
Okay. Okay, let's have some React questions. Can you tell me the benefit of like uh, benefit of virtual DOM in React?
Yes, sir. Unlike previously, we have a real DOM in HTML. So, the React have a special feature of virtual DOM. So, whenever you execute the React code, so like it renders the virtual DOM, and so whenever there is any changes in any component of that virtual DOM, so it compares it with it compares with its previous state, and then re-render that the component which just changes. So that is a benefit of virtual DOM. So like it saves the time, it saves the data. So it's that's why and also it allow you to build the component website. So you only render the component with changes. So yeah, that's a benefit of the virtual DOM.
Okay. Can you tell me how can you implement lazy loading in React?
Lazy loading.
Yeah.
Yes, I tried it once to implement this lazy loading. So should I told you theoretically, or show? I need to show it also by sharing the screen.
No, you can tell theoretically.
Okay, so we can lazy loading. So let's say like whenever I click on something, and that anything is taking their time to load or to to fetch the information. So we can implement this the concept of lazy loading. So we can use the functions like set timeout. So we can using timeout we can specify how much time later we want to implement this loading, and after which event initially we can specify like when the data is fetching, So we went our loading to be done only 30%. Then after the data has been fetched, we can like set the loading percentage to be the 60, and then after rendering, we can like specify that loading to be 100%. And also initially we can mention timeout during timeout key, that how like after how much time we want to implement that lady, uh, start the loading. So that's how we can implement the lazy loading.
Okay, how JSX is different from like normal JavaScript, HTML?
Right. So basically, uh, uh, in JSX we can write the HTML code also, you know, and like in JSX we can write the HTML and JavaScript simultaneously also. And in JavaScript we can't write the
How does browser will understand this?
so basically, in JavaScript, so we can only write the JavaScript, but in JSX, we write the HTML. But whenever like we have to write the JavaScript, we have to wrap it into the curly brackets. So whatever in the curly bracket, it will take it as a JavaScript thing, and like take it as a JavaScript and compile accordingly. So yeah, that's the difference in the Java JSX and JS.
Yeah, so but my question is generally Java, normal browser understands this JavaScript and a simple JavaScript HTML, right? How it will understand this JSX code?
So how? So it's a JSX code. Uh, so we have to like while saving the file, we mention like it is a JSX. What I understand, like, so whenever we have a JSX file, we have to save it as a JSX. And yeah, I think, and then the compiler will understand that it is a JSX file. So yeah, it will compile it accordingly.
Okay. So what is the like? Can you tell me the purpose of React fragment have you used?
React fragments? No, sir, I have not used the React.
What is higher order component in React? Can you tell me?
Higher order components in the React are like the components which takes the another functions as an input. So these are the higher order components basically. So we can there are, I think, pre-build also, and we can also make the higher order functions. So I pre-build higher order functions are maybe the hooks, we can say. So they are use state, use effect hooks, where there are various hooks, and the set timeout is also higher order function in the JavaScript. So the functions which take another functions are the higher order function.
So what is the advantage of higher order function?
So the advantage, the we can get the advantages during the execution. Like there is a function which get implemented, and then we can specify then after one function is successfully implemented, what next we want to implement. So sometimes there are functions which take another as a callback function. So when a function is like the first function gets successfully implemented and we get the some result, so the other function use that result, and then we can specify what next we want to do. So like it helps in the execution or proper execution of the program.
Okay.